Well, hello, good people. Jason here with Green Country Agroforestry. Coming to you on June the 2nd, that's this morning, shortly after the rain. Oh my goodness. Well, hello there, good people. Hi, for those who don't know, my name is Jason. This is Green Country Agroforestry, and this is a gardening channel. And I've had some difficulty over the last couple of weeks without having anything to record on. So I've been sitting around, well, I haven't been sitting around, I've been busy gardening, but I haven't been able to share what I've been doing with the audience. And I think this time has allowed me to sit and reflect for a bit about what it is that I'm doing, what message I'm trying to convey, and I think really I need to start reintroducing myself, the channel, and what a garden is in the first place. So let's begin with what a garden is. Well, the word itself comes down to us from Indo-European roots and Proto-Germanic roots. Gortaz or Gardas, depending upon whether you're Indo-European or Germanic, meant an enclosure or sort of a grasping or enclosing a space. It translates into French as jardin and English garde, from which of course we get yard. And of course it all relates to boundaries. And what are the boundaries for? Of course the boundaries are to keep the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. In Old Norse it was Innengard and Utgard. Innengard was all of the civilized areas. Civilized areas are usually defined by walls and boundaries. So what was Utgard? That's wilderness. That's where the monsters and the giants are and the scary things. And inside the boundaries, this is where civilization is. So in that version, the garden is the model for civilization. And I think it was the model for civilization for a good long while before. The old Persian word for a walled garden was hardis, from which we get the English word paradise. But it all depends on establishing boundaries and maintaining them. The forest garden has several layers. It starts with canopy. If you choose to include canopy, that's that pecan tree right there. One great big tree has a spread of about 60 feet. But plenty of space underneath for all kinds of other life. Next, there are smaller understory trees and fruit trees here at the periphery, which are smaller than the canopy trees. Bushes and shrubs fill the next layer, like this elderberry. Next we have herbaceous perennials, like these daylilies, which also serve as a ground cover with their edible flowers. Look at that. Hello! Breakfast time. This canna lily and these spiderworts are also herbaceous perennials. The ground cover is very important. As a matter of fact, it's the most important job of all. And here I've got a temporary ground cover of daikon radish, which is growing here and can be harvested periodically for the kitchen. Let's pick one out. Here's one that can probably serve for salad greens, and of course radish for your salad. So we've got greens and roots for our salad. There we go. We'll set that aside for lunch. And of course we've got strawberry here filling in underneath this persimmon tree. persimmon tree, of course, is going to be one of our understory fruit trees beneath the canopy of pecan. Now, our pecans are spaced far apart enough that the canopy never completely closes, so we have plenty of sunlight for everything else that needs it. Right now, I'm kind of racing ahead of the bugs to gather a few strawberries. Looks like there's a couple in the bug I managed to get to. Yep, cold, wet mornings. Wet mornings anyway. Now here I find a little bit of fodder for the worms. Let's harvest some biomass for the worms. Got some stuff for us. There we go. Alright guys, you want to see something? I'll show you something. So, this is one of our wood chip walkways. We dig down 2 feet deep and then we fill it with wood. Oh, there's one here. There's one crawling across here. There's another one coming up right here. There's another one there. Fill it with yard waste and then top it off with wood chips. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's ducking back down under. There's 4 large night crawlers that just came out there. Oh, there's another one down there. So there are night crawlers all over through here. Look at that one. Look at that one. Oh my gosh. Night crawlers all through here. Oh, there's another one. There goes another one right there. There's another night crawler. We have just tons of night crawlers all through this bank of wood chips. And since we just had rain, they're all out and about up here in the surface layers, grabbing all this organic matter, processing it into worm castings, which is just one of the best organic fertilizer manufacturing systems imaginable, folks. So one can spend as much as 2 weeks or so, even longer in some cases, depending upon what you're growing, without tending an area, without coming through and plucking out the undesirable species, like making room for the things that one does want in here. So you can leave it untended for a certain period of time. I'm just going to lay these down. And about 2 weeks is enough time that if one is off attending other duties, one can come back and still amend things, still stop those pesky trees from getting too big. If you don't want those trees taking over, the real red up there that are growing out here. You get these adventitious weeds plucked, and I'm just laying them down. Because we have other things in here that we want, like some daylilies in the background here. I got those. I've got some monardas that we want, and of course the ground. Oh, earthworm. The ground needs to be covered. The worms will take care of breaking up these plants that we've sacrificed. As a matter of fact, let's have a look at the space that I've already treated. So we're going to peel back this cardboard here and show you what's underneath. So I picked some weeds a while back and I threw them underneath a flap of cardboard here at the base of this grapevine. And as you can see, that cardboard is suppressed any other weed growth. This is looks like some chickweed back over here. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to pluck it if it gets too big. It takes up too much space, but we'll leave it otherwise. Now, since I pulled the weeds and put them down here, let me stop for a second here because I got more weeds to pull. I pulled the weeds and I put them down here, and then I covered them up, and I let nature do its thing. And what nature's thing was a whole bunch of earthworms come in, devour the weeds, convert that into fertilizer and feed the grapevine. So now I'm going to add a little bit to our supply here, but I wanted to show you, just in case there's a little snake that I want under here. You never know. See, that more woody debris is taking its time getting consumed by mold and fungi. We got a lot of little roly-polies there. We have all those worm castings. Here's a worm. Alright. So, there's a snake. So sometimes there's a snake in here. Hello, little snake. How you doing? Have you been eating my worms? Been eating my worms? Sometimes we have snakes in the garden. It happens. Alright. But anyway, we wanted to have these. There's a worm. There he is. We're going to have these roots protected and, of course, fed. So, we toss weeds down and then make sure that they get covered up good. So you see, just having walls and boundaries isn't enough. You have to work at maintaining what's inside of them. Saying no whenever somebody wants you to do something that you don't want to do is establishing a boundary. And it's important that you maintain those boundaries. You can't just say no today and then tomorrow go, okay, well, I guess you can do what you want. I mean, you're going to have people out there that will not take no for an answer. You'll tell them, no, I don't want to do this, and then they'll come back with the exact same idea the next day. Maybe they'll pitch it a little bit differently, but same idea, same thing that they want you to do, same thing that they want you to participate in. Either they want you to go along with some scheme, or they want you to participate or give them something. You can just keep on saying no. You don't have to. You don't have to let them eventually wear you down. That's the tactic, of course. Come back again. We'll try again tomorrow. We'll try again tomorrow. I mean, some people call that salesmanship and being persistent, but it's a little psychopathic. The person says no, I think they mean no. But the value of a barrier, the value of a boundary, is only discovered whenever it's tested. Alright, well, here we are again, back at this wall that I've been busy working on. Mary will be happy to see this. The husbandly duties of providing the building of walls, security and shelter, right? Well, this is security and shelter for our, I guess this is the south side of the house zone foundation, which does not need any large trees growing in it. So to help with that, we've built this retaining wall, once again, to keep what's supposed to be in and what's supposed to be out. The next step is going to be coming in here where I've removed all of the locusts that had gotten in there. You don't want those growing near your foundation. And the elm tree, there was an elm tree right there by that meter. Now we're going to come in with cardboard, top it off with wood chips to a depth of, about 8 inches. That should be enough. We got that'll give us 2 inches of space over the top of that lip. Those blocks are 4 inches each, and we've got about half covered at the bottom. Well, some of them we've got all the way covered. So we're going to give this area a good bedding of about 6 to 8 inches of wood chips, and then we're going to be able to come in and plant more of these goji berries, probably. Speaking of fatherly duties, establishing walls, this used to be my daughter's bedroom, so I planted thorny plants underneath it. Dad's gonna do what Dad's gonna do. Hey, That's about all I've got for you today, good people. I'm going to be getting back to work. And I think coming up here pretty soon, we're going to be picking these goji berries out. And I'll tell you all about these goji berries and what they're good for. If you found today's video informative or entertaining, maybe a little bit of both, you know what to do. I will catch you next time. Until then, get out there and get